Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with another update for my rolling pretty pan. I have, for the last couple of years, I think since the beginning of my basically panning journey, done rolling pretty pans on my channel, where I always try to finish products. It's a good way for me to get through products, have some products I can reach for every single day. That's kind of the type of products that I roll into this project, just because it means I get a lot of progress on them. So that is what I'm going to update today. I am very excited. It's one of my favorite projects to update, especially when it comes to non-eyeshadow products, just because, again, I feel like I get a lot of progress on the products in here. But I'm going to jump into the update and the 10 products that I'm currently working on. But before I do that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I'm going to start off with the first product, and you can call me a liar because I'm pretty sure that at the last update I said there's no way this product won't be done by the next update. And here we are. This is my Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer in C0, which is just a white concealer. And this is what I'm using for my eyeshadow base. And I'm doing that again today. I have gotten to the point though when it is completely scraped out from the sides, I can't use this doe foot anymore. However, I started using a brush to reach the bottom of this. So I don't know how well you can see in there, but there is still product at the bottom, and I'm using like a separate brush to reach that, and it's still going strong. So I don't know when this is going to be done. I can start seeing through at the bottom. I can see again where it's scraped everywhere. I can see exactly where the doe foot can't reach anymore, but there is some product left in there from where I use the brush, or like where I can reach it with the brush. And since I do like this one as an eyeshadow primer, it works nicely. It does make my eyeshadow pop. I'm using it today and it's nice and brightening. I'm going to continue working on this one. I'm not going to roll it out, even though it's a little bit of a faff to reach for now, because I have to use an additional brush. I have to clean that every day and stuff like that. It still works, so I'm going to keep this one in. But I do use this one basically every single day. In the past month I have 26 users on it, so again very high, and I'm very happy with that. We'll see again how long it takes, but this month I do believe I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to say I will for sure, because who knows, this seems to be the never dying product. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress so far. Next up, we have another base type of product. This here is my under eye corrector from Becca. This is in the shade light to medium, and it is just an under eye corrector. I do love this one. I actually stocked up on this before Becca went out of business, so I do have a couple backups that I'm going through. Luckily though, this product is available now on the Smashbox. They purchased this one and I think a couple other products. I know for a fact they got Champagne Pop as well. But this one is still available if I want to pick it up. I'm working my way through my backups. So I've been working on this one quite a lot, and this is what it looked like last month. It is one that I can reach for basically every single day, and it's a good kind of first step of concealer for me. And I reached for it 31 times in the past month, and this is what it looks like today. So I don't know if you can see in the video very easily, but I was actually able to pan on this product in the past month, which I am super happy with. And it's very recent. I only hit pan on it 2 uses ago, so again very brand new, but I'm excited to be able to share some visible progress on it. This is where it's sitting today, and right up there is where I hit pan. It's not like super visible because it's a glass jar, and I feel like there's always product coming in over it, but hopefully you can see that there. So yeah, I was able to pan on it, and again it took me 29 uses this past month. I'm now sitting at 31 uses this past month, and in total for the specific product tracked. So I used this one last year in my project, and I also have tracked it this year. I don't believe it's all of the uses. I believe I had some use on it before, but in total tracked I have 164 uses to hit pan, so a very high amount. And there's still a bunch of product in here. It's not going to be finished anytime soon, but hopefully now when we have a pan, it's going to be easier to see the kind of visual progress every single month. The third product that we have is another one that's been in all year, and that is a blush. This here is the Frat Boy blush from The Balm. I'm gonna roll the footage what this one has been looking like. It is this perfect peachy pink blush, and this is what I'm wearing today. Obviously you're seeing the blush right now, but you can see the blush on my cheeks in a second. And it is the blush that I'm reach for majority of the time. I don't reach for it every single day, but I do reach for it relatively often. I've been between, you know, 20 to 30 uses every single month. The lowest month I have is actually this month, but there's a reason for that. And this month I used 23 times, which I still think is pretty high. So this is what it looked like last month, and again I have reached for it 23 additional times in the past month, and this is where it's sitting today. So there is a visible dip for sure. I can definitely see a dip. I'm now kind of just working my way through it until I hit pan. I have no idea how deep this blush is, but I have a feeling that it's going to take me quite a while to still hit pan. It would be nice to do it soon, just again so I can have some visual progress, but I do have like a bad feeling that this pan again is quite deep, which means that it would take a while to hit pan. But yeah, I am happy with the progress and the dip that I have in this blush now. The reason why I haven't reached for it as much as last month is, first of all, I'm panning a different blush in my Deco panning. It is only like 15 or 30 uses, I can't remember what I rolled in for, but something like that. So it's not like hitting pan or finishing, it's just a usage goal. But I also did go on holiday, and when I went on holiday I feel like I had such a nice like glow, and just that kind of, you know how you get like a flush when you've been in the sun, and I didn't want to cover that up with like a powder blush, so I did use some concealer, like kind of products on my face, but I let that natural glow come through, and I didn't add any additional blush those days, and that is also why it's a little bit lower. But I think 23 uses in a month is still amazing, and I'm gonna keep tracking along with this one, see how far I can get and how long it will take me to pan on this blush. Of course, again, it is the goal to finish it, so this is probably going to be in the project all year, because even though like I still have a lot of time left with like of the year, I mean we're only in May, I don't know if I'm going to finish this one, but I like it. I think it's really nice. It's a good versatile blush. Again, I'm wearing it today. It is that perfect peachy pink, so it goes with majority of my looks. So I'm enjoying this product. Next up we have a rollover from last year, and that is my Sleek Solstice palette. I'm actually only working on one shade in here now, which is the second shade in the palette called Hemisphere, and this is what it looked like when I rolled it over. I didn't have that much product left, and I thought this one was going to be done ages ago, but I am still working on this, as you know. It is kind of like a purplish undertoned highlighter. It is super nice, quite impactful, but I need to be careful with it, because otherwise it does give a little bit of a cast just because it has that purple undertone. But I've still been reaching for it a decent amount. I am also panning a highlighting palette as my pan out face palette this year, which means that I have to split my time, so I don't reach for this one every single day. But this is what it looked like last month. I was really happy with the progress, and in the past month I reached for this one 8 additional times, and this is where it's sitting today. So it's definitely getting towards the end. There's still product left in here, of course, but I feel like it's definitely getting thinner. I do think I want to repress this one after this update, just because it is getting harder to pick up on my brush. But yeah, I'm happy with the usage. It's slowing down a little bit because I am getting a bit more color, especially on my holiday. I feel like I can reach for this one a little bit less, so I do feel quite urgently that I want to finish this one as soon as possible, just so I don't have it throughout the like really warm summer months this year. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and repress this one. I'm gonna include it in like a frankening and repressing video, which I think will be my next video, or up in a couple of videos time. I'm also gonna franken my palette, so you can look forward to that. But I'm gonna repress this one in there, and hopefully it will move quite quickly when I repress it. I don't think there's much product left in here, and I can like try to center it in the pan, again, to make it easier to reach for. So we're moving on to another base product, and this is the first product that has not been in since the beginning of the year. This has only been in for 3 months. I rolled this one in at the first update of the year, and that is my Chanel powder. So this is the powder, natural finish pressed powder in the shade Translucent 3. I'm gonna roll the footage of what it's been looking like. It had a massive dip at the beginning of the year. I had used this one quite a lot last year. I had 78 uses tracked from last year. It is a little bit deep for me though, so I've been using it as like kind of like a light bronzer. I didn't figure that out straight away, but I did start using it that way quite early in the year, because I felt like it worked really nicely that way, especially when I was like at my palest. And you can see also that I was able to pan on this powder finally. It took me 83 uses in this project tracked tweaked pan on it, but I had used it way more than that. And this is what it looked like last month. So you can see the pan was definitely expanding, and I continued to use this one quite a lot the past month. It is suiting me a little bit better now since being on holiday, so I can use it a little bit more as like a blending powder rather than a bronzer. But I'm still reaching for it majority of the days, and I reached for it 28 times this past month, and this is what it looks like today. So I haven't looked back at the footage yet, but I'm hoping that the pan has expanded. There is a little bit of like hard pan buildup on this one, which is not ideal, but I felt like that would be a common theme with this product throughout the year. It's kind of like getting hard pan, but I'm still able to use it, so I'm not too worried about it. I might use some tape if I need to get it off, but I'm overall very happy with where this powder is sitting. It's definitely moving more since I started using this one as a bronzer, so I am hopeful that I can see the end of this powder. It is getting a little bit harder to use, but I don't think I need to repress it yet. So I'm going to work on it one more month, and then maybe next month I'll have to repress it. I'm not sure about this product because I feel like the plastic around it is kind of covering the pan. So I might have to repress it into something else. But again, I'm going to tackle it out next month. I don't think it's time quite yet. And I like keeping the pan as long as possible, just because I think it's very satisfying seeing the pan expand. But yeah, for now I'm very happy with this one is sitting, and I'm hoping again this one is going to be done in maybe within 3 months. We'll see. But yeah, that is this product. The next 4 products were all rolled in 2 months ago, so they haven't been in for too long in the project, but I have been reaching for them a decent amount as well. The first one is a foundation. This here is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 1W1 Cashmere. This I have been saying since the start, I can't really see through it. It's not settling, even though it is a semi kind of liquid foundation, it's just not settling. But I do reach for this one quite a lot. I am wearing this one today, however, I have now started to mix it just because it is a little bit too light for me after being on holiday, but I'm still able to use this one. I use about a pump and a half now instead of 2 pumps, and I mix a darker foundation in with it. But I don't reach for this one every single day. It's not the best long wearing foundation, and that's one of the reasons why I want to finish it. It's not very old. I only picked this one up last year, but again, I want to get it out because it's not my favorite formula. In the past month though, I reached for this one 14 times, which is very similar to the first month it was in the project where I reached for it 15. So I'm reaching for this one on average like every other day, which checks out because I reach for this one majority of the time when I'm working from home and things like that. Whereas if I'm going to the office, I am reaching for other things. So if I'm going out, like, you know, throughout the day, on the weekends, stuff like that too. So it checks out that I'm using this one about half of the time, and I'm happy with it. I have no idea when it's going to be done, but I'm going to continue working on it, and hopefully it won't take too long, just because again, it is a little bit light for me now, moving into the warmer months. We have another cheek product next, and that is a bronzer, and this again rolled in 2 months ago as well, and it's the LYS No Limits Matte Bronzer in the shade Motivate. And this is what it's been looking like since I moved it in. It did have a load of use before, but not much at all, to be honest. It was a little bit tricky to reach for the first month. I feel like I had to play around with it. It was a little bit too deep for me, especially when I was at my palest. But I have been able to reach for it quite a lot in the past month. I have similar use on it. The first month I reached for it 25 times, and in the past month I reached for it 26 times, so very similar. And this is where it's sitting today. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything, but I can see a little bit, like the slightest dip in this product. But I've been using it a bit differently. I've been reaching for it with a bit more of a fluffier brush. It's actually like a very wide, like stippling brush, which means that it shears out the product a little bit more. And also I have been on holiday, like I said, so it is a little bit better suited for me now. So I've been able to reach for this one more heavily in the past month compared to the first month it was in the project. This is what it looks like. Again, I don't know if you can see any movement. I can again see the slightest dip. I think maybe there you can pick it up. It's not much, but it's a little bit of wear, which I'm happy to see. And again, I am sitting at 51 uses with this one in the project, but I'm expecting this one is going to take quite a lot longer to finish up. But yeah, it is the bronzer I'm wearing today. It's my go-to bronzer now. It's the one that I use every single day. I'm happy reaching for like the same kind of cheek products majority of the time, so it's quite easy for me to work through these type of products. even though again this one I think is going to take a little bit longer. We are staying on the cheek products next, and this is a sculpting powder from Kevyn Aucoin. This is one of my older products in my collection. I've had this one since 2016. I know exactly when I picked it up. It was when I was living in Chicago, which is why I know. But yeah, this is a very old product in my collection. I don't reach for it very much on its own, which is why I wanted to finish up this year. This is what it looked like when I first introduced it. It did have a little bit of use, but again, very, very little, like considering I've had it in my collection since 2016, which is, you know, 9 years ago. And I've been struggling a little bit on how to use this one. I feel like it makes my face a little bit muddy, and I've asked for recommendations on how you recommend it. Some people said like to use it as an eyeshadow, which I could do for sure, but I feel like it will take too long to finish that way, and also I'm panning so many other eyeshadows. But yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to wear it, and this is what it looked like last month. I had reached for it 6 times in the first month, so not very much, but I have reached for it 10 additional times this past month, and this is what it looks like today. So there is definitely a little bit more wear, but still not too much. Only 16 uses though since I've introduced it to the project, so I'm not surprised. How I've been using it is I actually mixed it with my bronzer, which someone also suggested, which I did really enjoy because it lightened up the other bronzer a little bit, and it did cool it down also. However, again, after my holiday, I feel like now it's too cool tone to do that, but yeah, that was something that I did to get some more use out of it. So yeah, you might be able to see also in this product there is like some more kind of linear marks, and that is because I have reached for this one in my eyebrows, and that is what I'm doing today. So I did recently finish up my eyebrow shade in my Panda palette, and I thought, you know, why not try this one as my eyebrow shade while I, you know, wait to refranken it, which again I will share in my upcoming video where we press and refranken and stuff like that. And I really like it that way. I really like this one in my brows. I feel like it's a really nice brow color, which is good because it means that I have a use for this product now. So even if I end up not contouring very much, I know I can use this one in my brows. However, I am going to do another franken of my brow shade from my Panda palette just to help to finish those shades. So I don't know if I'm going to continue reaching for this that way soon. But again, towards the end of the year, I will definitely continue doing that. And yeah, we'll see what I do with this in the meantime. I think I will reach for it here and there as a contour, as like a mix with my bronzer, and maybe every now and then in my brows. But I'm happy that I am finding more and more ways to wear it. And again, any recommendations for a contour powder that you have, let me know in the comments, because there is still a decent amount of product left in here. It does have 4 grams, so I know it will take a long time to finish, whichever way I do use it. Alright, so this next product is my biggest fail so far in the project, but I do have one use on it, and that is my Stila, what's this called again? Magnificent Metal Peach. So it's an eyeshadow, and this is what I'm wearing on my crease today, because before today, I hadn't reached for this one at all in the past month, and it is a little bit of a fail. I'm going to roll the footage again on what it looks like since I first rolled it in. It's been also in for 2 months now. I did have a massive pan on this one before, and I had reached for it 56 times in 2024, so I do have quite a few tracked uses on this shade. However, in the first month it was in the project, I only reached for it twice, and this is what it looked like then. And as I already said, this past month I only reached for it 1 additional time, which is today. So again, not too much movement. 3 uses altogether in 2 months is not great. But it is what it is with this one. But this is again what it looks like. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. I know last month I said I wanted to step on my usage game with this one, but I just haven't. I'm torn because I have so much progress on this one already, and I do like it, but I'm just panning so many eyeshadows that I prefer. So I could use this one. It is really pretty and it's in a corner highlight, and I could definitely continue using it that way, but I just forget, and I'm panning like again other shades. But I will try to step up my usage again with this one. I feel like if I don't get more than 1 or 2 uses in the next month, I might have to end up decluttering this one, even though that would break my heart, because I have so much progress on it and I would love to finish this shade. But if I'm not reaching for it, I'm not reaching for it, and it is in a project for a reason. I do want to get it out this year, so we'll see what I end up doing. But for now, it's going to stay in the project. But we'll see where it's sitting, where I'm sitting with this one in a month's time, and I'll make a decision then whether it's going to stay in the project or not. Alright, so the last product that I am currently panning is one that I rolled in last month, and that is a highlighter. This here is the Pie the Impossible Glow highlighting drops, which I was working on last year. That's where I got all of this progress. It was brand new last year. But I'm trying to finish this one. I have used this one a little bit. I used this one on holiday. This is something that I brought with me on holiday, and it worked perfectly for that. I really enjoyed it, but I haven't gotten as much use out of it as I wanted. However, I do have 6 uses on it and a little bit of progress. You can see the progress lines there. It has moved the tiniest bit, but that is because I have reached for this one mainly on my cheekbones, and you need the smallest amount of this one when it is on your cheekbones, which is why it hasn't moved more. But again, 6 uses is okay, and I think it's pretty decent progress for 6 uses. And I'm not worried about this product because I know as soon as the weather heats up and I have like more of my shoulders out and stuff like that, I love wearing this one on my shoulders. I also think even, you know, using it on my cheekbones, stuff like that, when it gets warmer, I will get more uses than 6 every month. So again, I'm not too worried about it. I do definitely think I can still finish this one this year, and I'm happy that I was able to reach for it in April because I wasn't really expecting to have enough of a tan in April to start using it, but that is all thanks to my holiday. So that is the final product. And a little bit sad is that we don't have any rollouts, but I do think next month is going to be a good one when it comes to, you know, progress and rollouts and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to try to have the concealer out, the white one. I just need to finish that on up again before I get too tanned to reach for it, because even now you can see probably that my eyelids are quite light. It works for colorful looks, but it's a bit harder for everyday kind of neutral looks to do. But I love it as a base, so it is like, you know, I'm going to continue working on it, but I'm going to try to have that one out for sure. And then I might try to have a second empty out. Which one would be easiest to do? Maybe I will try to finish up the sleek highlighter. Again, similar reason, I want to have that one out before I get too tan and before we get into like the warmer weather. So yeah, because in a month's time we will be in June already, which is crazy. And then I only have 1 more month until my baby's due, which is a little bit scary. And I'm gonna have to get a lot of progress on my products in the next 2 months, because after that point, I think my progress is gonna slow down naturally. But yeah, that is gonna be it for today. I'm aiming for 2 empties next month, which will be exciting, but if I just get 1, that is going to be great still. I just want to keep this project rolling. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are. Let me know what the most recent product you finished was, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.